Hey everybody, how you doing? Hope you're having a great weekend. Just as a reminder, markets are closed on Monday for President's Day. I've been talking about it for the last couple weeks. What we're seeing here in the indexes, this is the SPY S&P 500 ETF. So my question's been, we got this bounce, we got the breakdown there in early February, bounce off the 200-day. What's going to happen as we start getting closer to those new highs? Are sellers going to step in? There's going to be a lot of selling pressure. We're going to make a lower high and potentially make a lower low. Or are we just going to go on to make new highs and overtake that level from January? Jury's still out. Too early to tell, but I did see something Friday that suggests that maybe we'll see a little pullback next week, and that's that candle Friday is kind of a reversal candle. It's kind of looks like a gravestone doji. I love these candlestick names; they crack me up. So, but that's a big level. That's from the gap down on February 5th. It kind of touched that gap level again in that 275-ish area and came down. What's interesting here is it retraced 61.8%, which is the key Fibonacci number of its move from the high here to the low. It got 61.8% of that back. So what's really interesting here is it's not just the S&P 500. Here's the Russell 2000 ETF, same thing. There's also some horizontal support resistance zone here that it hit Friday, and price kind of rejected that area. And also the Dow Jones. Same thing. This is the 61.8% retrace. So, maybe we'll see some selling next week. This candle and this reversal is not really confirmed until we see what happens next week when the markets are open. But it has potential to go lower here. And then again, it's way too early to tell. The long-term trend of the markets still looks up. But if we make a lower high, and then if we make a lower low, then maybe that would be a bigger and more important reversal. Again, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but that's just something that I'm watching to see how it unfolds. One thing I wanted to point out, Friday, U.S. Steel and these steel names just made a massive move. Here's U.S. Steel breaking the trend line from 2014. You can see it tried a couple weeks ago, got rejected. Friday with that 15% up move, it's above that trend line and looking really strong. So if we're looking for longs, the steel industry might be a good place to look. Here's the SLX, the steel ETF. This is the weekly chart, and you can see this level's been important going back since this is 2013. This $51 area here was resistance, 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 big down move. Came back, hit some resistance there, and now we're right there to kind of cracking it. So if we can get above this and stay above this $51 area in this ETF here, steel looks really strong. That's a big time breakout on a longer term time frame. So I went through a couple charts last week, so I wanted to follow up on those. One was CENX, Century Aluminum. We bought it here, had a nice move this week. Friday especially, so that we'll have to keep our eye on this one next week. There might be some resistance here at 24. I haven't sold any of this position yet, but definitely keep an eye on it. Had a nice move last week. Another one from our video last week, TSE, bought it here. Nice move. I took half off the table there for a 8 to 10% gain. So we'll see how it reacts. I usually take half off the table to take gains, and then the other half I'll kind of adjust my mind frame and consider it a longer term trend trade and keep that remaining half of shares as long as the trend is going up. So that's what I did there. This one I posted this chart and talked about it in the video last week. This is Wave Life Sciences, beautiful cup and handle pattern here, and did we get a massive follow through. So never would have expected that move. Sure was nice to get it and a nice 30+% gain. I took half off the table Friday. So a strong move like that, maybe we can wait if you're not in it to see some consolidation and get in it there, because this one's getting bought here. So Nucor, another one mentioned in the video last week. We bought this one. I sold half this consolidation area here around 69. Could act as resistance, so I took half off the table there, but a nice quick gain there. So I looked through all the S&P 500 charts this week, and there's a lot of opportunities, both long and short. So I wanted to go through a couple of the short opportunities first here. Here's Caterpillar. You see this trend line here. It broke it. It's retested the bottom of it a couple times here, rejected, and then Friday rejected pretty good. Just because a trend line breaks like this doesn't mean it's going to go down necessarily. What happens a lot of times is it just kind of resets, consolidates sideways for a bit, and then resumes a new uptrend. So that's definitely a possibility. So what I like to look for in short setups like this would be a horizontal level to trade against, and we have that here with CAT in the 159, 160 area. We have this consolidation level, and then it acted as resistance here and here, got almost above it, and then it was rejected again. So we'll watch for some follow through next week, but this one's a short opportunity here that I'm looking at. American Express, similar. We had a area that was resistance here, then support, kind of turned against it Friday. So you can be short of against this 97-ish area, maybe to come down here to the $89 area. So we'll see how this one unfolds. Another potential short idea, Marriott. This one had a beautiful rise in this channel here, just really orderly. Then all of a sudden it broke, and then it retested that earlier this week and was rejected at the underside of that trend line. So we'll see. Again, it can consolidate horizontally and keep going up, but we might see some selling pressure here, maybe to bring it down to the 200-day, which is down at $115. So another short idea there. McDonald's. This one, it was a nice short in my opinion as it broke through this horizontal level here. If you missed that, now it's breaking below the 200-day. Just really ugly follow through on that 200-day last week. The horizontal zone here, a lot of shares traded in this 155 to 160 area. So that's a key area to watch. If it breaks below that, might signal more downside, but not a pretty look for McDonald's. Let's look at some long ideas. This one, MTOR. Didn't do too well as the market had a pretty good week last week, but I like what I see here. If it could stay above this $25 area, it's kind of has this nice orderly consolidation there after the gap up. A lot of shares traded here in this, $25 to $27 area. So for me, I'd be targeting a move to, if it gets above this 27 area, that might trigger a long for me. This one, I sold this one before they came out with their earnings report, unfortunately, because it was a good one and it had a big move up. Here's the weekly chart. This $14.50, $15 area, some consolidation there and broke above it. So I didn't get to participate in this big up move, but what I'm watching here is to see if it consolidates. It's kind of consolidated some of those gains. If it could move up, above 17-ish area, 17.10, this one might trigger a long for me against that area, because this one's in demand. There's a lot of buying in this one after that earnings report. Next one, HI. Has basically been consolidating all year. Looks like it's on the verge of breaking. So this is one I'd consider long if you can get above that $46 area. I like the look of this, nice tight consolidation. So it's possible if it breaks that area, we see a nice aggressive up move. WAL, regional bank, kind of a similar look to HI. It's more of a flat consolidation. It kind of broke above it Friday, but I think this one looks like a good long over this, $60, $61 area. So definitely one to keep your eye on there. Next one here, MKSI. I really like this chart. This area here, $110 was resistance. Resistance. It broke through it last week. We didn't get it broke through on Friday. We didn't get it broke through Thursday. We didn't get a follow through Friday, but it just kind of stood still. So we'll have to keep our eye on this one, but I like that chart quite a bit. VRNS, huge bullish candle. Like this one above the $55 area. And those are some ideas for next week. If you want to check out ttptrading.com, it's myself and CJ Argusta. We have live trade alerts, sector reviews, and much more. It's $69 a month, cancel anytime. So check us out. Thank you.